Hi guys, this is Eternal at Heart, aka TurboK1000 or Kirsty Jones if you prefer. Today's piece is Naruto fan art of Orochimaru and MyOC-Kaede from the story Burning Hatred, Blossoming Love, or BHBL for short. This drawing took me approximately 2 days because I was having a really bad art day the day before, and then the day after I managed to fly through it because my anxiety was no longer torturing me. And despite that, I struggled a lot with the colouring and the inking of this because I was really nervous about ruining it because it was so good in the sketch. But I'm really proud of the results because I've never worked with a candlelight, colouring before. Well, I have, but only once, and it was using pre-referenced colours. This time I didn't use any pre-referenced colours except for the colours that originally are on Orochimaru in the background. Other than that, everything there was made using tone correction to make more of a lighting that would work. And there I'm just trying to get the wall done in a way that didn't annoy me, and I did well. But yeah, the inking was not as nerve-wracking as the colouring, apart from the bit where I'm doing now, which is the scrolls, because drawing scrolls, adding detail to things through inking is so scary, because you're not sure if you're going to get something wrong. But I think I did pretty well. I could have put more detail into the scrolls. I know I could have, actual words on them. But because I didn't know the Japanese words for them, and didn't have time at the point that I was at, because this took me all day. I started at, 12 o'clock p.m. and finished at around 11 p.m. So I finished around 11 hours after start. Pardon me. 11 hours after starting. So I just didn't have time. Otherwise I would have put the words on, but I'm still proud of the drawing. Because it has its mistakes, but it's also very professional, according to my friend. The way it's the composition is and everything, it's professional. The proportions, the background, the foreground, the midground, all sorted. And I had to change that because I couldn't figure out how to shrink it. So instead I just made it a lighter grey. Watch, if you look for a second, there you go. So it's it looks like wallpaper. It was supposed to be bumps in the wall, but I realised how hard that was going to be and didn't really have time to colour it, shade it at that time of night, and the fact that I didn't really know how to shade it, I just decided it's wallpaper. It's freaking wallpaper. So yeah, there's me putting in the fake text, which was fun, amazingly enough. And it's sideways in the scrolls because you open a scroll sideways, so it is actually upside up like that. And then I had to do this, which eventually got changed. Because I changed the line art colour, which changed again later without my knowledge, but it still looks good, so I'm fine. I changed the line art colour, and all of it changed, including the red ink that I put in. I tried to add detail to the hair, but it just kept looking wrong, so I just kept it static like it was. And then when I worked on the hair fully, I lost my train of thought. I'll go back to the crosses when they come up again. But right now, inking Orochimaru was scary as hell because he was my favourite part of the drawing because I'd worked so hard on sketching him beforehand, and I just didn't want to screw it up because he's the main he's the main thing in this picture. He's meant to be the main focus. So I wanted to make sure the main focus was the best looking part, which is what I did. And it's just I worked so hard. I'm so proud of this, and I've never drawn Kaede and Orochimaru before. At least not without a base. I used to use bases a lot. I don't now. So I was so happy to have drawn Kaede and Orochimaru, and pretty decently at that. I still need to watch Boruto. Thinking about it, I haven't watched Boruto yet, so. I've read the Gaiden manga, but I haven't. I've got the Boruto manga as well, but I haven't really got that far into Boruto because I still haven't finished the Naruto anime, which is oh my god, no, such an outcry. But I honestly am trying to finish it while finishing other things because I've got to write my fanfic as well, so I can't really afford to rewatch episodes 1 till 5,675, random number. So what I'm doing is I've decided that I'm going to write the story as I'm watching it, so by the time I get to that point in BHBL, I will have seen the rest of Naruto, and then I can watch Boruto properly. But yeah, I'm just adding the thick lines now, because I started colouring it and then realised, oh no, I forgot to add the thick lines that I had usually in the corners. That's a great idea. So here you've got me adding the thick lines and process to the video. I did accidentally miss a bit later on. Apparently I finished the full colour, but didn't show it. I'm not sure if that's around here. It's not that far away, so you will see it soon. That it just skips ahead to when most of the full colour is finished. It wasn't on purpose, I just didn't realise I wasn't recording. So yeah, the red X's are still there. I don't know why, but the papers on that board are the second best part about this drawing, and that sounds really bad, but it's just the way the writing looks. That cork board is brilliant. So yeah, I'm just adding the colouring now, which you'll see some of, and then it'll just skip to the rest. And I had to use OrochimaruxKaede like design, so I actually have another page open if you look in the corner where it says the name of the file, and then a second page next to that file. That file there has Kaede and Orochimaru's references on them, because I needed one for Kaede, because she's in the background, so she's still there, she still needs colouring. And then I have the one for Orochimaru from Gaiden, which was really clear, and I was really happy with that, because it's so hard colouring Orochimaru's eyes with a very, very, very pixelated reference. I had to figure out the colours in my last Orochimaru drawing. What else? So yeah, I had to make up the colour for the sash, I admit that, because I couldn't find a reference of his full body pose, which is really bad, considering the amount of, like, he must have been full body posed by now in the anime, because it was in the manga. So yeah, I went straight to colouring the background, which is what you're... Sorry, something got caught in my throat. Which is what you're seeing here. And I forgot what I was going to say. If I yawn, guys, because I did yawn a little bit there, I'm really sorry. It's just that I've been working non-stop since I got home, so I am exhausted. And I'm really trying to make amazing content for you guys. It's just, you can't help a yawn, can you? So I hope you can bear with me with that. I'm not bored in any case of the word, which my friend warned me that it'd look like that since, you know, you yawn, right, when you're bored. But I'm honestly not bored. I'm just really tired, and I'm trying my very best to keep focused, and I'm going to yawn again. I'm sorry. There we go. So yeah, you've seen me skip to the end of the colouring now. So now I'm adding the tonal corrections, which is what this is. So yeah, at first it was very faintly orange, because I realised that my Cintiq had a lot more vibrancy than my actual computer, which is my main reference, because I use my computer more than anything. So if it ain't vibrant enough on my computer, it ain't vibrant enough. Right? But on my Cintiq it looked perfect. So what I had to do was, at the end, I had to go through it and alter that again, which you'll see at one point. And now I'm adding the shading, which originally was too light. My mum told me, it was my mum that helped me with the shading. She told me that if you're in a candlelit background, the shading would be especially dark, considering that the light is very dim. So yeah, I went through that and I figured all that out, which you'll see soon enough as well. Honestly, if I'm to say the hardest part of drawing for me, it would be shading. Because I love colouring, and I love sketching, and I love inking. To an extent, I love sketching anyway. Sketching can be a pain when you do it wrong. But shading's always a problem for me, because I never started with shading, so getting used to shading is really difficult. If you look, it doesn't look right. I'm sort of sorting it out now, and it's really hard because, you know, it's. Have you seen the tiles? How hard is that to colour? And at first it just looked like broken honeycomb, so I had to go back and fix that again. Honestly, this was the hardest background I've ever shaded before, but I'm so proud I got through it, because it made me realise that if I could do this, I could do anything. And it's true that you can learn everything. Honestly, what I'm learning next is going to be surprising to you all, but because I want to be a published author and writer and published manga artist or comic artist, depending on which country you're from, I need to learn to get myself out there on social media more. So once this video is over, I'm actually going to go into researching that. I'm not very good at research. I admit that I hate research with a passion, but I will do it because I want to be successful, and I don't care about money. That has never been an issue for me. I just want to draw and inspire others to draw, which means I need to get out there to inspire. So what I'm going to do is, after this, I have to start working. And the shadows were so difficult, but it was so fun to colour the candles in. I have no idea why. It just was. And there's me trying to shade the background, realizing that I didn't like the idea of shading it like that. So I was just like, forget it. It's wallpaper. And then you've got Kaede. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I'm not meaning to yawn. And I can't redo this either because it's freaking it's not scripted. Alright, so there's me. There's the moment I gave up with the whole ridged background. I thought, screw it, it's wallpaper. Which was still difficult because I had to figure out how to make it look like that, so it looked like it was getting lit up by candles. And then here I am blending out the shading because candle shading is a lot less sharp or harsh than regular shading, because if you look at a candle, it'll always, when it burns, it has that faded effect at the end of it. So I made most of the shading in this faded, but I did leave some sharp points at points where I thought it would be especially in your face. Kaede was not one of them. So yeah, I'm now still shading the background, and I'm just getting the shadows into the wall because the candle's on the wall, so the shadow will start from the wall. Especially on Kaede, because it's behind Kaede, the candles. So yeah, blending can be annoying though, because if you do it wrong, it can actually blend too clear. It'll blend with the rest of the with the rest of the layer that isn't coloured, and turn not opaque anymore. It'll become transparent, and it's really annoying. And that looked wrong. I became aware of it. I sorted it. And here I am just shading Orochimaru's desk. Oddly, the hardest part of this drawing wasn't the background, it was Orochimaru's desk and Orochimaru himself. Because I've never drawn a pose like that, and it took me 3, maybe 4 attempts to sketch it. I didn't even follow my thumbnail. I actually thumbnailed this entire drawing, and by the end of it I was like, right, the thumbnail isn't working, I need to find a better reference photo than the one I was using. And I found that reference photo, which is where he's looking like that, except for in that reference photo he had both hands in his hair. So I changed it so instead of having both hands in his hair, one hand is clenching a piece of paper on the desk, because that's what I saw in my head. I saw this picture of Orochimaru, head down, furious because he couldn't do anything with what he's doing here. I can't spoil it. And in the end, he just crushes the paper in his hand because he can't take it out or anything else. He's already cracked the freaking corkboard behind him, which you saw me drawing, but it faded out later on, so it will be re-added. Don't worry. So yeah, his hair was the hardest thing to shade, because at this point I was getting double vision from overworking, and I could not see everything. Like, at all. I could not see a single thing. And I totally forgot to mention this right at the beginning, but if you've noticed, this drawing's a lot slower, like decently slower than my other digital pieces. I've officially changed my speed of recording from 18 times to 16 times, sorry, 18 times to 16 times, because my friend I showed her my art, and she told me that sometimes it seemed a little too fast, especially with traditional art when I turned the paper. So I was like, right, should I go back to 16 times, which is too slow for me, but probably adequate for you guys? And she said, yeah. So I'm trying it with this. This is different, obviously, because the page doesn't move as much. But hopefully when it comes to the next traditional piece, you will see that it's a lot slower. The next traditional piece, by the way, will be a Orochide drawing, which is Orochimaru and Kaede fusion, because a lot of them were going around on YouTube a while ago, and it was really interesting, so I thought I'd do one about Orochimaru and Kaede, and it'll just be a black and white monochrome piece, so it'll be another full piece in one day, but it won't be massive, because this one took up too much of my energy, and I can't really think about that right now. Plus, it's nice to have like a difference, like, it won't be a massive piece, but it'll still be good. I'll make sure it's good, you know that. I never diminish on quality. Quantity is not as important as quality. Well, actually, is it comics? Yeah, even in comics, quality is more important than quantity. I'd rather have 5 pages done in a week, like in a month, and still have better quality work than a whole 20-page book in a month, which they do in Japan and amaze me with, right? And have it be the worst thing I've ever read. So yeah, for me, it'll still be quality. It just won't be as. It won't be as long as this one. It'll still be good. It'll be like black and white markers or black and white pens, but no elaborate shading, just like hashes or something like in the Naruto manga style. Ooh, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. So the next one will be in black and white. I think it might change before then. Black and white with hatching for shading, because it'll remind me of the Naruto manga style, which is kind of fun to draw, really. So yeah, I'm just adding the not the highlights, I'm adding the tones to Orochimaru, which I've nearly finished. And this is the moment when I realised it wasn't dark enough. So I changed it a little bit and it still wasn't dark enough, so it'll change again. And I'm adding the orange lighting because there's both orange and white lightning in this. The white lightning. There is both orange and white lighting in this. I am very sorry. And what I do is I use the white lighting to show off the brightest points, and then the orange lighting to show off everywhere that a candle would reach. Which I used a fainter version on the background because I wanted to show that a little less, but it was still important. It's all shiny. And then you got Kaede getting her highlights. So yeah, I am about to finish, I think. Hang on. Yeah, I'm almost finished. So yeah, I'm just about to top off the drawing, which is where I added the glow, the white highlights, and I think I changed the colours a little bit more. And then the drawing was finished. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. And that's me altering the highlight so it was vibrant, and that's what I ended up with, which was perfect. It was the perfect shade of orange. It might be different on your screen depending on what computer you're using. Anyway, this is the finished drawing, which I am extremely proud of. And it will have its mistakes, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please check out my websites, DeviantArt, Fanfiction, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and my own website. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you next week. Bye!